Except for the issue of religious and cultural diversity raised by Senator Sumile Akawu from Kano State, the bill received warm support from senators, including the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, who have asked Akawu to seek a better understanding of the provisions of the bill, especially on protecting the girl child and minors. The bill was then passed for further legislative action.
This bill was enacted in 2015 against the backdrop of the rising cases of violence, especially domestic violence against women. The initial bill sought protection for women from male domination violence. In the face of opposition to its obvious gender bias nature, the promoters renamed it, tinkered with some of its provisions, introduced seemingly gender-neutral language, and successfully obtained its passage.
In his led debate, sponsor of B. Abaribe explained that they seek to establish a regulatory body to oversee out-of-home advertising in the country and professionalize engagement in the field.
This country has a strong belief of our cultural tradition and belief. For example, in my belief, if you say a total domination of male to the female, you need to come clear and explain to me or explain to us what do you mean by total domination.
You go and study the bill very well. So during the public hearing, you bring out all the salient points to convince the committee that will handle this before they bring the report to the Senate. For me, we should even debate it. There are a few things here. The idea of carnal knowledge of a minor. Our consent in most jurisdictions is immaterial. Even in Nigeria, the penal code also states that consent is immaterial. Because, like Senator Mongunu said, she may give consent, but she's not mature enough to understand what she's doing.
The Urban Legislative Chamber also resolved to dust off the report of its Committee on Power on the recent hike in electricity tariff in the country, following a motion by Senator Abdulaziz Adwa. It called the attention of the Senate to how difficult it has become for health institutions in the country to cope with the electricity hike.
It addresses the multifaceted out-of-home media in our environment and the need to professionalize engagement in the sector.
The grave implications of the recent electricity subsidy removal policy enforced by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, particularly in the health sector, which is causing undue strain on public health institutions, are likely to impact on the populace they serve.
It, however, insisted that the scrapping or merging of affected agencies should conform with necessary legislative process. Finally, the Senate later confirmed President Bola's nomination of Dr. Matthew Olumide, the Director General of the National Space Research and Development Agency. Joyce Ere reporting for BTV News.